Our next speaker, Trevor Taurima, is going to come and have a discussion or kōrero with us about Poutiri Ao O Tane. Trevor is a whānau member at Maungaharuru Tangi Tu. He is of Ngātu Kahungunu, Rongo Mai Wahine and Ngai Tahu descent, and he was whangaied by his grandparents and lived next door to his beloved marae Tangoio, which is 20 kilometres north east of Napier. Trevor has a very colourful and long public service career with the Justice Department and Mauri Land Court and many other government departments and agencies. Trevor has been involved with Poutiri Ao O Tane for about 5 years and is a passionate and willing participant, always willing to promote and advocate on behalf of native species for all kinds on historical sites. This being the corridor of Maungaharuru and Tangi Tu, thus from Maunga to Moana. Welcome, Trevor, and you'll be watching our lovely Ben there, who puts up a 2-minute sign and a 5-minute sign, and you'll know where we're at from then. So hopefully you'll have plenty of time for your kōrero. Welcome.
Akira tātou katoa. Ko Trevor Taurima tōku nei ingoa. A whānau hapu member. It's quite ironic that I'm a disciplinarian of time, and that applies to me today. But however, also interesting that yesterday that we were encouraged to tell the stories so that they can be heard and retold again. My beloved niece down here sitting knows that when I tell stories of the hapu and Tangoio and the marae, time doesn't matter. But in this case it has to. In relation to Poutiri Ao O Tane, I have to take the journey and the kōrero back 300 years, because that's where it began. And my presentation today isn't about stats, it isn't about hard-based information, it's about people. It's about people, it's about people. The origin of Poutiri Ao O Tane from a cultural perspective. And here we go. Where do we go? Where do we start from? We start from the Great Migration from Hawaii Nui, Hawaii Roa, Hawaii Pau Mau Mau. And there's 69 sites to come. And one day, the Takitimu comes out of the fog and sees this long white cloud. And under the cloud, there is a land base, later to be known as the land of the long white cloud, Aotearoa. Takitimu then travels down the east coast of this land, and it settles in this beautiful bay. In this beautiful bay. There we are. And in the distance, there is this mountain range. On the afternoon of, one of the high priests, Tupai, comes up from the bottom floor, and he had to take his time because he had 13 floors to climb on this waka. All the other waka only had 2 floors. Joking. And he looked into the distance to this mountain range. And he took his staff, or tokotoko, excuse me, parapamu, and he cast it in that direction. The staff landed on the Maunga range and gave the Mauri to the range. Life form in the sense of animals, birds, and vegetation. It gave pristine waters that flowed down through Papatuanuku down into form lakes, streams, and down into the ocean base. Later that afternoon, the next morning, Tupai came back on deck, and because he heard this rumbling sound coming from the maunga, and he cast his eyes there and he saw a dark cloud lifting from the maunga, and the sounds got louder, louder and louder. And the cloud drifted off down to south, east to the seashore, later to become known as Andy Lone's area. But however, in the evening, the sound came again, got louder and louder and louder, and settled upon the maunga. Hence, the maunga gets its name, Maungaharuru, the loud, vibrant sounds coming from the maunga, caused by the flapping of the bird life, the bird's wings, multitude of birds. And that remained for a century or two. Prolific bird life, beautiful water streams flowing through and down from the maunga through Papatuanuku and down into the seashore. However, along comes other persons, and with these other persons came their pets. And pets eventually came to pests. And then the silence of Maungaharuru and the paru of the streams. The silence still remains, definitely. What's the word? Definitely. And the streams and lakes are still paru. Tōku nei pepeha. Ka tuwhera a Maungaharuru, ka kati a Tangi Tu. Ka tuwhera a Tangi Tu, ka kati a Maungaharuru. Basically it means that when Maungaharuru is aplenty with food resources, then the Tangi Tu, which is the seashore, you don't go diving. And then it is the reverse. Ko Maungaharuru te maunga. Ko tūtira te roto, ko te naru e te awa, ko Tangi Tu a te moana. Ko Tangoio te marae. Ko punanga te wao te tipuna whare. Ko Maungaharuru te whare kokiri. Ko Tangi Tu te whare kai. Ko punanga te wā te kohanga reo. Ko nā hapu marangatu he taua, nā te kurimo kihi, nai te ruruku, me nai tauira. Ko Takitimu Waka. Where have I missed one? Ko nā te kahununu, te tangata, mo rongo mā wahine, te wahine. Ko nei mātou e tau i o nā hapu, some hapu members. See if I can get this going. Kua tēnā. This gentleman here may be recognisable. He was then the Governor-General of the day, Tā Jerry Pārai, and that particular photo was taken on the day of the signing, the official signing of our settlement deed at Government House. So, I mentioned the settlement deed here has been signed, or was signed, back in 2013. Chief negotiators at the time, in the red, pinkish, it was Tanya Hopmans, and our Kroa, Bevan Taylor. Behind in support is Tā Pita. And our current trustees are those in the other picture. Trustees of the Maungaharuru Tangi Tu Trust. We have an office to service just under 6,000 registered members to the trust. And Poutiri Ao O Tane, the meaning of, and given by our kaumātua Bevan Taylor, embracing the sacred knowledge of Tāne for a collaborative, ecological and social restoration project, which began in 2013. From a cultural perspective, the word collaborative means Whakawhanaungatanga, kotahitanga, and other such like words. However, culturally based, we are very, very strong on te reo, and of course, mihi, whakatau, karakia, and most of all, Awhi Te Tangata. To the service area of Maungaharuru of Poutiri Ao O Tane has been alluded to in previous speakers as of yesterday, is what we call the Maunga to Moana corridor, and it stretches from the Maungaharuru Tangi Tu Maungaharuru range and down to Tangi Tu, the seashore, consisting of about 8,800 hectares, as been stated previously by other speakers. And here, within that boundary area, is one of the sites which you'll have the privilege of visiting tomorrow, and that is the Boundary Stream Mainland site. And there you have whānau gracefully standing inside the carved waharoa. And crucial to our success to date is the collaborative approach that we have with many, many, many peoples and groups. And crucial to that is the way the boundary iwi have a very, very strong relationship with Maungaharuru Tangi Tu. And for me, I'm one of those that can raise my hand and say, this hand belongs to Ngāti Hiniuru, and this hand belongs to another iwi that is also has a place on Maungaharuru, which is Ngāti Pahawera, and somewhere in here belongs to Maungaharuru. This picture, pic here, we have representatives from those three iwi groupings, Ngāti Pahawera, Ngāti Hiniuru, and Maungaharuru. Partners there, they are representatives from DOC, Te Papaatawhai, Hawke's Bay Regional Council, and the iwi spread, and also community persons. Poutiri Ao O Tane, habitat restoration, large-scale pest control, research, da-da-da. And here we have, we start them young. Yeah? What's your whakapapa? Next one is, here's the spade, get going. An unsung hero of many. Pōri, kakete, stones, and he graced our platform out there this morning and gave a full detail what he is on about, and that's part of it. Interesting, this pick is about looking from the Maunga down to the valley out to the seashore, part of the 8,800 hectares, but the crucial part here is that we had buy-in from the various partners, i.e. the farmers of Tutira, the private landowners, the Maori landowners, the free iwi are concerned, and other groups. Poutiri Ao O Tane. Poutiri Ao O Tane has been researched, and researched to research. And so, and there's people that just get on with the job. They were research documents. Here is one of the education programs, and as I say, start them young, and they will carry the message on from here ever and a day. There is a educational program with the rangatahi of the hapu, and they are up on Opouahi, and I'll talk about Opouahi as I go through. Here is a predatory fence and boundary stream itself, with kaumātua engaging with the community. Now, here is one of my favourite picks. How to get into people's psyche is give them something that they can relate to, something that they will dearly be attracted to, and it is one of the Titi sharks. I call them Fluffy Duffy. Right. But from here on, if you see the people's faces, look at the eyes, look at the smiles that these manu bring to them. And for me, that is the attraction. Get them on board with such something that they can relate to, and then you can spin them the yarn about all the other things which you really want them to get interested into. The translation program, relocation program, is these monies as listed: the Kakariki Titi, the Korere, the Pāteke, the Titi Pounamu, and the Tautauai. And here we have the beautiful Kakariki, the beautiful Korere. And I just threw this one in the mix. Why did I throw just one in the mix when it's not on the transfer list? Is because it is so, it oozes to me energy, right? And so when I feel a bit down, I flick to there. Here is a media release about petrol that we received earlier this year. And interesting to know that it is a very stressful day for the Titi. And they caught Cod Island, which is west of Stewart Island. And about 6 a.m. in the morning, they leading up to that day of transfer, they are then taken out of their nice warm bed and are put into boxes. Then they are put on a helicopter and they're flown to Invercargill, to where they get on a fixed plane, and then they fly by fixed plane to Napier. And depending on the weather, they are helicoptered helicopter ride up to the Maunga. If the weather from Napier to the Maunga is inclement, then they go by road. And it could take something like about eight hours before they actually reach the Maunga. Quite a stressful time for ngā manu. Here we have manu Takaka being received at Boundary Stream, and as always, strong on the list is about mihi mihi to ngā manu. Here is Hokorere Māori Girls College, and they with the program, and they have been with the program at Boundary Stream, and they are welcoming the birds and giving the youngsters a bit of entertainment. But crucial to that, if you see in the background, a kaka in their home. And if you can see, there is the trapdoor, which they will eventually be enticed out of after a month or so of stay in the enclosure, and hopefully they stay close around the in that area. Wow, look at that. We take them young. We even take them in their gumboots. Can't do without them. The volunteer. Here is a release, kakaliki being received, and the joy of whānau releasing kakariki. And here we have the predator-proof fence for Titi, reputed to be, and this is on the Maunga, reputed to be the furthest inland and highest in altitude predator-proof fence nationally. From there to the sea is 24k in a straight line. And I forgot to mention that in our deed of settlement, we put a claim in there for Tupai to become the first Olympian, because he cast his staff 24k. And we're still waiting for the medal. This is the Te Papatawhai headquarters up on the Maunga, or close to Boundary Stream and Opouahi, and where the volunteers stay and are bedded down and are fed and accommodated and so forth. Here, Titi being received up on the Maunga this particular day, and whānau there to welcome them and going through the normal procedures of mihi mihi whakatau. Now, just look at that. See the faces, see the smiles, and they will take us into the future with this program. Right? The fluffy duffy. No? Oh, no, go back, Trevor. Sorry. Now, yes, in the background there, you'll see a little hut. That little hut is very, very, very important. That is the, what you call the health check hut. And I'll get to that later on. And here we have, eventually, the fluffy duffies been put in their individual nests to stay for a period of time. And here we have two awesome volunteers. The fire travels down from Bay of Plenty, and it takes her about 6 hours, I would say, about, to arrive on site, eventually arrive on site, but she handles every fluffy duffy. She checks their health, and she gives them the initial water and food, and then hands them on to the volunteer after they've been logged and so forth and been registered. The moko there, his name is Kahurangi. And he comes from Miramar, I think. Yes, he comes from Miramar. So, and he loves coming up there on these particular days. Here, look, even the adults are smiling. Even the karaua is smiling. You are. Now this one, I've got to tell you about this one. Oh. Oh, missed it. Sorry. Here we go. That one there. That's my grandniece. And she has been on all the translocations except one. Yes. Her first one was in her mummy's arms. And now she walks around when the chicks arrive. This is Lake Opouahi. You will visit, or those who are privileged tomorrow will visit Lake Opouahi, named because it's a lake there. It's also a fenced in, predator fence, has a predator fence. It has a whare waka carved, and you will hear the stories in the korero about that tomorrow. Look at that. And at Opouahi is the Panpak Kiwi Creche, and where Kiwi are brought back to better health, and they have checks every week, normally on a Tuesday. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and that's why you will be seeing Kiwi there when you visit, and the lucky ones. Also at Opouahi, there are 2 outdoor pursuits sites. They are awesome. The Pāteke were received at Opouahi, and they were brought by tangata whenua from up north, and there's the karaua answering or replying to the mihi that was given to them. And look at that. He is so happy to be holding his Pāteke. As well as Maungaharuru being a receiver of these taonga, we are also a giftor. And here, Titi Pounamu were collected and transported down to a beautiful piece of bush in the Central Hawke's Bay called Dean's Bush. And they were, as you can see, taken by helicopter on the day. And there the manu Titi Pounamu received by, I think on that particular day there were about close to 200 people there, inclusive of the schools, community and tangata whenua. And here is the blessing and handover. Then you got someone there doing the Karakia for the Tautawai that were caught trapped at Boundary Stream on that particular day. And in that photo is also John and, sorry, I can't remember the names now. Now, what a beautiful photo this is. Tautawai being released this particular day, it was at 100 acre bush. While I'm on that particular photo, the taking of the birds to 100. No, it wasn't. It was the bush next door, Muhi Bush. It was a late Saturday afternoon, and it was quite a cold afternoon. And when the birds arrived at a particular point down on the Marae Totara Road, they were met by Whaia Muhi herself. Whaia Muhi is about 92, 93 years old. And Eta te tangi te whaia, i te kitinga te taonga me nā tautawai, i tēnei wā, i te rawa. She was so overwhelmed to see the tautawai arrive along the roadside that she was prepared to wait for them and have her tangi, and then blessed the tautawai as they moved on. Similarly, we did a catch at Boundary Stream. No, sorry, we did not do a catch. We received manu from Maungaharuru, which is outside our boundary, and they were accompanied by Whaia Te Awhina Waka, a 19-year-old whaia. So that tells us there's commitment from our elders to this beautiful program. I'm getting to the end. Now, I particularly love this photo. It's a bola. It's a bola, the effect it had on our roto tutira and the surrounding area. Why do I love it? Because this is a result. The concern of the community. The community have come together in relation to the Tutira Community Action Group, as well as, I think I get this one right, the Tutira Project Team, and others to do something about that through this. Awesome. Here, what can I say about this one? Is that God have to understand that Maori, from a cultural perspective, love to see people's faces, and in this case, the gifter. The gifter being whenua hau and the kaitiaki rōpū down in Whakawhanaungatanga. Face-to-face dialogue. And Denise from the local Te Papaatawhai and I were privileged to go down to Mbakago last Thursday, and we met the haukainga on the Friday, and our message to them was just to say thank you. Thank you for allowing your taonga, Pepe, Fluffy Duffies and others to come and repopulate our maunga, and why that was so important that the stocking of the maunga is to our hapu. And just for stats that we have received in relation to Titi, is that since 2011 to current numbers, we have received 269 fluffy duffies. Of that number, 267 have fledged. And they are all on the EO around wherever they go. And hopefully, and we've got our fingers and toes crossed, that January, February next year, that they will be heading home, very close to home. What we don't want them to do, as I heard yesterday, is go past Andy Lowe's wooden decoys. They may not carry on further. However, so yes, time is close for us to hear, hopefully, those sounds again. But the stats say that whilst the first flock would be low in percentage, and the subsequent flights thereafter, like Air New Zealand, they get better. 2 more, quickly. Thank you. I've listed no names, but here they go. Te Papa Atawhai, Hawke's Bay Regional Council, the two neighbouring iwi authorities, Fish and Bird, Niwa, the farmers, thank you very much for all buying into this. Yes, and have to say also, Andy Lowe with his support with Cape to City, and that is crucial to both parties, that relationship is strong, and that there is trust between both parties, Cape to City and Poutiri Ao O Tane. I'll finish with this slide here, and it is so important because it is us. It is us over a century of the paipai. Those gentlemen who stand and welcome the guests, the manuhiri. It says that unless our maunga is not flapping, the work still has to go on. Unless the rivers are not clean, the work has still to go on. Unless the seashore is not looked after, the work will continue. And this whakatauaki or saying has been with us for a long, long time. And I'll put $1 on it, it'll be with us for a long, long time. Ka tūwhera a Maungaharuru, ka kati a Tangi Tu. Ka tūwhera a Tangi Tu, ka kati a Maungaharuru. Nō reira, koutou mā, ka kōtanaka ki te I whakarongo hau I tēnei whakamaramatanga a Poutiri Ao O Tane. Ko tēnei te mihi atu a te hapu a Maungaharuru Tangi Tu. Kia koutou rā, nō reira tēnā koutou, a tēnā koutou, a kia ora tātou katoa.
Because we have a few minutes,
No lies.
because we have a few minutes to spare, does anybody have any questions for Trevor?
Pardon?
The song, you said after every talk you'd get your lovely lady to sing a
Who
song.
said that? It was interesting because I did try and think of an appropriate song last night to sing, and I honestly couldn't, but I will try and do this one. And this one is a family song, unfortunately, but I think it has, what we say, a relationship with our kōrero. And could I say is that, and it was mentioned that I was raised by my grandparents, but I was also fortunate that that my great-grandparents were around at that time, spoke no English. And my great-grandmother was gifted by her hapu, our hapu, the moko, and likewise with her sisters. So again, I was privileged to see them and to learn from them. And I stand here and say my name is Te Aorangi Trevor Taurima, and I still see them constantly. And this song here is a family song, and so I get quite sentimental when I endeavour to sing it. Round me a twilight comes creeping, those days of sweet memories. They'll come again in the morning to bring back sweet memories. Memories, memories, days of love so true. All I see in memories as I'm drifting back in time. Wildwood ways, wildwood times, among the bees, birds and bees. Now we're alone, but we're not all alone in our beautiful memories.
What a privilege. Thank you, Trevor. And I just want to say before you depart the stage, I'm just going to give you this gift. And I just want to say on behalf of the Poutiri Ao O Tane and Cape to City governance group and project management teams, we'd like to personally thank you for the extra guidance, wisdom and support that you offer us on this journey. And we are absolutely privileged to work with you and very grateful. So thank you very much.